remember I was very shy, very shy, but I was always chosen to be a part of the track team. I get in somewhere, I
Mm.
promise.
You're doing great. Keep going.
I was always chosen to be on the track team, and I didn't know why because I did not want to run. But somehow that like pushed me in the forefront. I would always train and become better, and then I would always quit at champs time. They will never find, could never find me. I would.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Sharika. My name is Sharika Swaby. I am also known as the Mind Reset Strategist. I am a certified life coach, but I specialize in mental wellness and spiritual alignment. I'm also a certified mentor. I'm a published author, and I host this show, of course. And I'm also a realtor. That was recent. But my guest today is a phenomenal, young, vibrant Jamaican queen who's making waves internationally. She's an international actress and one of Jamaica's top makeup artists. She has a degree in psychology from the University of West Indies. She was on America's Next Top Model, Cycle 19, as a makeup artist, right? She has worked with the local talents such as Chronix and Damian Marley, as well as international arts talents such as Beyonce and Cardi B. And she, as you can see, she is amazing. So please help me welcome to Conversations with Sharika, now Becoming Consciousness with Sharika,
Wow.
Miss Kimberly Patterson.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the show.
What a beautiful introduction. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm truly looking forward to this. So we're going to kick it off immediately. So my first question for you is, I want you, the purpose of the show is to help individuals to realize their potential, right? And it's also to shine some hope so that other people can see that there is further to go, there is more to life than just being down in the gutters, etc., etc. So I want you to tell us who you are from the beginning. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? What was life like for you?
Ooh, we're taking it way back, huh? I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I was born at Natal Hospital, Memorial Hospital, but I grew up in Portmore, like all my life, Portmore, Jamaica, in Hellshot to be specific. So it's a very small town.
Right.
And then, you know, my father, he was in the army, but in a very high rank, captain of the Coast Guard, and he was in the JDF, right? So the morals and principles and discipline, it was there from a young age growing up.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't a very fast learner, but that is because I didn't know that I was more of a creative being instead of somebody who's all about books and going studying all night. I had to force myself and wake up in the mornings at like 3 a.m. And this is talking about like high school. I went to Vast Prep first. I was very shy then. Let's just take it back to school days. As young as I could remember, I was very shy, very shy, but I was always chosen to be a part of the track team. I get in somewhere, I promise.
You're doing great. Keep going.
I was always chosen to be on the track team, and I didn't know why because I did not want to run. But somehow that like pushed me in the forefront. I would always train and become better, and then I would always quit at champs time. They will never find, could never find me. I would hide, even though I was like set for a race. I would hide. Can you believe it? I was just not ready for the limelight for my entire life. And then
Wow.
in grade 6 of Vaz Prep, that is when I was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. As long as that my mindset changed. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be afraid. Let me like even though I have nightmares about running at champs, like let me do it. I would have like the main nightmare I would remember was like being on the track, ready to run with everybody, the audience like all focused on me with the lights flashing, and I was like, nope, I would wake up out the dream, right?
Oh my
So
God.
scary as it could be for a
Mm-hmm,
child,
mm-hmm.
right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. But I just wanted to tell you, like in grade six, I was chosen for a solo piece for the dance for dancing, and I was like, "What? I'm not a dancer." But that specific year, I was forced to step out my shell, and then I was like, "Okay, cool." When I went to
I can do
Immaculate,
this.
I can do this. Then I went to Immaculate, so I got good educate. I have a good educational background. My parents worked very hard. We're not rich, but we just strive and we go for what we want in life. And I grew up
Mm-hmm.
learning that. And
Right.
so when I went to Immaculate, I didn't want to run anymore. I wanted to be a hot girl. Not really like hot girl. I just didn't want to end up like spending my time running track and field in the hot sun. No, I want to find who I
Mm-hmm.
am.
Right.
So when I said that, I meant like I started finding me, and people would gravitate towards me. I became a dancer there because the type of friends that I attracted towards me, we all pulled each other. So I ended up dancing, cheerleading, like from high school to UA. I went to University of the West Indies, like you mentioned. Didn't know how, like I don't even know how I ended up studying psychology because in high school I studied the sciences, biochemistry and physics. Did well, dropped it because I was like, nope, that's for daddy, but no, not for me. I'll do well at it, but I'm not going to continue. No, too rough for me. And then the studying, and then the big words, I was like, no, thank you. So eventually I started testing the waters with different things. So I ended up doing
Mm-hmm.
psychology and human resources. And then as you can see, that brought me into makeup. And then as you can see, that brought me into acting, which you may ask me about as well.
Oh my goodness. I love how you said that you used to be shy, because looking at you, there is no way I would make that assumption at all. You look like you were well and blooming right out of the womb.
Oh, I would hide at the
but
back of the dance class. Listen, that bad.
it's funny because based on what you said, you can tell that what you do now has always been calling to you. It's always been pulling you, and for a while you stayed away from it. But I tell people that the things that we're supposed to do in this life, we cannot escape it. We can try, and for a long while. And if we refuse to step up, our life is not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice. Stick to your calling. Do the things that you're supposed to do. But back in primary school, what do you think changed that caused you to start thinking differently?
Oh, it was vast prep. What caused me to like change my mindset? I think literally I was so shaken by that specific dream. I don't want to call it a nightmare anymore. Yes, it was big. Yes, it was bold. It was scary. Like I woke up out my dream and I was like, and to this
Mm-hmm.
day, I still remember it. It must be a reason why I remember that dream so vividly. So ever since, I was like, listen, I have to try to find a way to change this. There must be something behind this. So the kind of friends that I attracted or I pulled towards me, it forced me to step out of my shell. They were like, dancers and go-getters, smart, brilliant young women from all areas of life. And I was like, wow. And I think that is what really kind of pulled me to try different things and step out of my comfort zone. I think the next big step after that champ's dream, like to change that, I entered the Miss Jamaica World Competition, which was like not me. I was not a girly girl at all. I was like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, like, I had a friend who looked just like me, and they were like encouraging the two of us all the time. And then, of course, I was like, but then I was like, listen, I don't want to get old and regret this in my deathbed. Why
Right.
not try it and see what I learned from it? Oh my gosh. I was on the stage like, wow. instead of being focused on the judges, like, that is because it was such a life-changing experience, and I just turned my story around, and I was like, I'm gonna like this journey. It's different from that, but I'm gonna embrace it and see where it takes me.
I love that, because for the majority of folks, we tend to shy away from the things that that are presented to us, right? And the best thing I think that happened to you was the people that you attracted. The people that you attracted. And there is this common Jamaican saying, I'm sure you know it: show me a company and I show you who you are. I think that's your story is a perfect example, because your friends were people who would push you in the right direction. So I know there may be a mom or two or a dad or two on here, or even a teenager. I hope that this helps you to see that it really matters who your friends are. And it's not that you're being prejudiced. It's just that you're securing yourself and your future, right? You're securing the type of life that you want to have in the future. What was it like growing up with a father in the army?
Ooh, good question. Okay, wow. So I'm the middle of 5 children, right?
Wow.
Right. Oh, listen, my sister is a doctor, like my brother is an entrepreneur, my big older sister, she's an accountant for a big financial company, and then I have a little sister. So I was in the middle. I was like the creative one. I was like dancing, running, cheerleading, like exploring, what can I do to earn money for myself and not depend on my parents. Just figure things out. And if I had to do the tests, listen, going through you one time, so I will sit around the table and study, because I did it one time in 3 years. I don't want to do this for 4 years. And I'm gonna pass this. My father even asked, hey, can you gonna do your masters? I was like, Daddy, I love you. I'm to do this. I'm gonna change the game. This is my calling. I don't want to do this anymore. I think, and what's crazy, that year, 2009, is when the recession hit. So right after graduating, I couldn't find a job. They were laying off people left, right, and center. We can all identify with that right now with COVID, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I got an offer to be a personal assistant, and I was like, excuse me, I just studied my butt off to be a personal assistant. I should have been in a corporate company, or like a consultant, or something with psychology or something. But I was a personal assistant. But it was the most amazing experience and journey that I didn't know that I would embark on. That you have to sometimes start at level, not levels, but in areas that you didn't know that you're supposed to be, because God is making a way for something greater than you can ever imagine. All you have to do is put these puzzle pieces together and just step one step at a time, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's just how willing are you to take action, to step it? It's so hard. Man, the anxiety is there, but geez. And then I was a personal assistant to one of the most amazing business women ever. I learned so much. Her accounting, filing, these are things that I apply to my business today. I explored the summer job in high school, and I was like, nope, this is not for me. I did it twice, and I started rebelling. I was a rebellious child, middle child. I was rebellious. I was like, yeah, you want me to go in that direction? I tried it. I don't like it. I've gone this way. I don't know where to go, but I've gone that way,
How did your dad take the decision when you made that decision? How did he take it?
Okay, so growing up, I think by then he was just over me. Even though I was a good student, I was a very good girl. I just wanted to know who I was. And he was all about, okay, before you go out, you have to clean the grill, do the army stuff. And I didn't identify with army stuff. He was all about discipline, had me end my summer break 2 weeks before school start back to start preparing for school. And I was like, what child want to do that, man? No, I don't want to do this. Well, I will do it, but I don't want to do this. This is not the life I deserve. I did it, respected it to the fullest. But this day though, my parents are now separated. However, it's such a beautiful story. Going through that moment was so life-changing for me. And then to see them become best friends again, they're not married still, but they're best friends better than before. It's inspirational for me.
That's a miracle in itself, because most people separate as they can't stand each other. So that in itself is a miracle, that they're best friends. Oh my gosh. Like I said, that's a lot to be grateful for. At what point did you begin to transition? So you studied the sciences in high school, and then you moved to psychology in college, and you became a personal assistant. And then after that, you became a makeup artist. How did this happen?
So, literally 1 year. I think I was overall I was a personal assistant for like 6 years. I didn't want to go further than that. I learned my lesson enough, and my heart was yearning to move on. I didn't know where, but it was like, I'm so sorry about my little puppy barking.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, right. The question was, how did I? Okay, right. So, I think like in about year 4 of working with her, I was around the computer watching YouTube videos. That time YouTube just started teaching makeup, and I was like all about YouTube videos. Like spending my breaks, I was that like persistent on finding ways to get in front of that while doing that. That's the only way I could have moved forward. Doing my thing while doing your thing, we're growing together.
Right. Yeah.
So I would always watch these videos, and 1 year, just 1 year, literally about 4 groups of like 3s and 4s, groups of girls contacted me for carnival makeup. And I was like, I'm not a makeup artist, right? And they're like, oh yeah, well, we have our stuff and we'll pay you to apply it. I was like, people do that? That time I just put my finger in the eyeshadow and, just wiping it off and just rubbing, just simple everyday stuff.
Right.
So, it wasn't really right. So I don't know what they found in me, but I decided, hey, this must be a sign from God. So I decided, let me step out and try this. My boss at the time, she encouraged me. She took me to the Monarch Pharmacy, and she bought me 5 sticks of black opal, 5 shades, the lightest to the darkest. And then I think I had some personal stuff, and they brought personal stuff. So as long as I had the powder, one of the translucent powders, and the 5 sticks of black opal foundation, I could work magic. I could do this. It was so successful. I did 10 girls overall, and I had my best friend to help me to collect the money, one to put on lips, one my sister to help me to put on foundation, I created an assembly line so it could make sense. And when I said it was so successful, my boss was so proud of me. She paid for me to go to the Face Place Institute of Aesthetics. So that's how, and then after that, she's like a freelance producer on set. So I started networking because I was her personal assistant. She started encouraging me, hey, pack a little kit and bring it on set so you can help out. Then I got to meet makeup artists who are key makeup artists, and I started to learn my lessons, just being on set and just learning what to do and just taking notes. This was class for me again. This was my master's that I didn't know I was doing, but I was just placed in the right zone. So that's kind of how I got into makeup. Within 3 months, I was working on America's Next Top Model as a makeup artist. Yes.
How did that happen? What took place?
I asked the same question. How did that happen? They just reached out to me. I got a phone call saying, hey, we're shooting blah 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 blah. This is top secret, confidential. You cannot speak about it, but we're hiring locals to balance with the internationals, because they have to hire an amount of locals too to work on a project here. Even when working on it with assisting on set with Beyonce and Cardi B, they had to have the local and the international come together.
Right, right.
Right. So yeah. I don't know
Wow.
where I was going with this, but I think I got there.
Yeah, you did. You. Wow, that's amazing, though. And I think that happened because you started to trust the process, and you started to go with your passion and the things that drive you. And I think that's why that happened. Because I can say that because I've seen it happen in my life. Because my first speaking gig talking about mental health was from somebody who saw my shows like this one and was like, well, I was in training for speaking, but I had not done anything as yet, right? And they saw my show like this one, and they were having a session with parents at a school, and she called me up and she was like, I see you're into this kind of work and so on and so forth. I want you to come and do a session with parents. And I'm like, sure, because that's exactly the path that I want to be on, right? So I just volunteered. But I think when we're doing the things that we are passionate about, it kind of just flow, and over time with practice, that flow becomes easier and easier and easier. So now you've moved from being a psychologist to a personal assistant to a makeup artist, and I must say hats off to your boss at that time, because not many women, not many people would want to see you grow and expand and lift you up as much as she did. So I mean, more power to her. She must be an amazing person, and I'm giving her all the praise for that, because
I love
that's
that.
amazing.
Like, she
Must.
inspires me to this day. And even when I was leaving, I told her, listen, I really took the time to think about it and I delayed as much as I can. But you can say that it's time for me to grow. And she was like, Kimmy, you are growing and I consider you as my daughter, and I will never, ever, ever limit your growth. So please go on and speak out. You got this, and I'm here for you all the way. And I was like, tears.
I know, because that not many people would do that. So I mean, you've been tremendously blessed in that area. So now you move from that to makeup artist and to an actress. Let's talk about that. How did that happen?
So my life is all about, has been about transition. Like, as soon as I literally just think of playing a game, and when you finish one level, the next level just
Mm-hmm.
begin, and you just step into the
Right.
journey. You don't know this level; it's new, but you have to, go on the journey to see, go on the adventure. What is this thing about? As you explore.
Right, right.
So I don't know where I'm going with this either. Wait, remind me of the question.
Okay, so I want to find out. I want to know how acting
Oh,
came into the story.
I knew I was getting somewhere. So literally, I was working on set one day for a commercial with Usain Bolt. I was a makeup
Mm-hmm.
artist that day. Like, listen, I can't be here all day as long as you want, but I could come here for a certain amount of time, and then I'll have to leave because I have clients for that day. So literally, the crew bus dropped me back to the Spanish Court Hotel, and I'm in the car, popped down as ever because I just finished a whole day up in the sun, hot, working up in the hills. I remember you saying I'm running, so we're outside, and then every time I'm like patting the sweater and whatever. So while packing my kit in my car, I was approached by the team for Nick Cannon's production. He was shooting a feature film in Jamaica, and they were looking for talents to audition. So I've been seeing this thing, on Instagram, but they were asking for dancers, and I haven't danced in like years. Never danced. But I haven't danced in years, and I was out of shape. So I was like, I'm not going to do this. And I'm sure they're looking for real big time dancers. But it came back in front of me again when I was in the parking lot packing my kit, and they're like, hey, would you like to like audition for the film tomorrow? Tomorrow, it will be tomorrow morning. I was like, okay, cool. No, I'm good. I'm not an actress. They're like, well, you just never know. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I went home, spoke to my sister, my younger sister, and then she's like, you have to lose. I was like, Why is everybody encouraging this? So I went and being prompt, being on time, just being the professional I am. I showed up early to the audition and I sat in the car and I breathed. And I was like, whew, all right, what am I doing? Am I ready for this? I went in there anyway, after I prayed. So I was sitting in the parking lot and just moment of silence because listen, the anxiety was killing a girl over here. I was like, what am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? Oh my gosh, I don't even sign up for this. But she's all right, let's go in here. So I was the first in and I was sitting down and waiting. They came in, opened up, and I was sitting down. And then all the dancers came in and they were like, I was like sitting down and watching them. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I just tried to keep my cool. Then they called me in the audition first. I was the first in the audition. So I sat with Nick Cannon and he had a camera in front and he was like recording the whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, and I did it, right? And I just said, let me just try it out. What can I lose? I stepped outside. He was like, oh, you mind staying back for like round 2 where we could stay back so we could see, you know, like what's up. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was just hanging around the compound, right? And then people started coming up to me and like saying, oh, you're here, cool, cool, cool. Then they had this, Nick was like, Nick called all the dancers in. So the crews were doing their dances and just killing it. I was like, yo, I'm at a dance show. I love it. The vibe was there, you see, man. The room was so hot, but it was just steamy because it was like some good dancing. I was so inspired by the Jamaican dancers. So I was sitting down by the mirror trying to hide, trying to hide. And then Nick was like, Kim. So I was like, oh my God. And he wanted me to dance alongside the other lead, well, the antagonist in the movie, played by Krisha Turner. Right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I have no competition for this, but hey, girl is gonna bring it because I'm not gonna go there and embarrass myself. So listen, no man, I reached back in my pocket from prep school, high school days, UE days, and I say I left it all on the dance floor. Listen, no man, when I done, could I breathe? I run outside this year and I try to catch my breath and I say, ooh, I don't know what I'm doing, but listen, worth it. So I was just, listen, it was just full energy and good. So I was like, let me just go and get it, just deliver it and leave it. I stepped outside, catching my breath. People started coming up to me and started congratulating me and saying, hey, I heard that you were chosen for the part of Maya. They're not taking any more auditions for that part because they've closed it off to you. And I was like, but listen, I'm still on the compound. What you mean? You sure this happening? Then the producer comes over to me and he's like, listen, so we decided that this may be a breakthrough role, so just prepare for what's to come. And I was like, yeah, I mean, when we do it, I'll say, but I hear what you're saying because I didn't know what he meant. And he meant so much more than I thought. And the opportunities have been endless since then.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, all your fear went away. Everything, you just gave it your all. I think...
I turned the fear into energy.
Ah, I love that. I love that. Turn the fear into excitement.
Yeah.
Where do you think you get this passion and drive from to be your best at all times?
I think when my parents separated, I was forced into submission. I withdrew, I went to my room, I was just always in my room. And then one day I was like, you know what, I'm going to build a close relationship with God. I'm going to read the Bible and see what this is about. I'm going to go on my journey and not listen to what everybody else swaying me this here. I was like, let me go on my journey because I think this is supposed to be a personal thing. Because if people hear God through the Bible, that means I can hear him too one day. So I think that is where the excitement comes from. If you believe and you have faith every single day, you wake up every morning and say, listen, today's going to be a great day. Guys, I'll still talk to you. I said, today is going to be a great day, right? When you wake up with God, that's how you wake up in that mindset. And God is joy. And God gives you talents. And when you can explore those talents and you're doing what you love, it comes easily. And that is where the magic happens. If you have like a talent, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, it's yours. You are supposed to do it. So once you start stepping into it, things will just flow automatically. And all you have to do is just show up. You're going to be scared. Ah, like, I love it. Then it's light on and you're like, okay, cool. Well, yeah, all right, I'm here.
Man, I absolutely love you. And it's amazing. You know what I like? I think the fact that you read the Bible for yourself. Because I think that's one of the major problems I have with people who get up and they read the Bible and they go to church, and I don't think they've read the Bible for themselves, because many Christians, I hope nobody see me and stone me for this, but but many Christians, I think, have gotten the false message from the Bible or from their pastor or somebody. They got the false message, but you got the perfect message, right? I love that
And
you got the right message.
thank you. And you know, it wasn't easy. We all go on a journey. We all don't know what this thing is. And the thing is that we're all on different paths of our journey to God.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what our story is, it can change anytime for the better.
Yeah.
So even though we make wrong choices, listening to that person, we had to listen to that person. We had to hear that message. We had to do that bad thing. We had to do this and that and explore. Like a child is gonna test the candy, even though the mother said don't do it. But eventually,
Yep.
when they get some sense of maturity, they'll learn for themselves. They'll go out and explore and then apply their own lessons and say, okay, you know what? Let me cut down on the candy a little bit, and then let me just, So it's all a process. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about life's journey.
I love it. I mean, like you, I feel like a sister. I feel like you're a sister. I just feel like it because because the things that you are saying, they're so in alignment with the things that I have come to accept and believe myself. Because I was a shy person too. Like a couple years ago, 2, 3 years ago, I would not be sitting here in front of this camera. Nuh-uh, not happening. Like I wouldn't take a picture and smile. Like my sister-in-law would always ask me, where is the smile, right? And that was occasionally that I would take a picture. But when I do, there would be no smile. Like I was always hiding. I never did a video. I never did anything. I didn't even ask questions in high school.
No, yeah, same here. Same here. I wouldn't raise my hand. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't. So it's amazing. I can understand your journey, and I understand when you start coming out of that shell and testing the waters, it gets so exciting and fun and amazing, and you wonder, where have I been this whole time? Where have I been this whole time? So I love, love, love your story. Now, after you did the Cannon's movie, to after you got the job to be on the movie, what were some of the challenges? Right, King of the Dancer. Right, what were some of the challenges that you had to overcome? Because now this is new territory, new challenges. It's exciting, but I know that there must have been some challenges. So what are some of those challenges that you had to overcome?
ooh. So I was flown out to walk the red carpet for the Toronto International Film Festival. That was like, I had to do new things back to back and on my own. On my own. That was so
Wow.
scary for me. But yet I decided, listen, I'm gonna do this. There's no turning back. So I think the biggest thing for me was to take care of myself. How to take care of myself as I embark on a new journey that I haven't explored before abroad, especially internationally. Because I've gotten such big assignments with big actors. Now I'm in a TV series going on to season 5, and I've been on it since season 1 on BET. And that is me representing myself, because at that time that was the one little movie, and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't even identify with myself as an actress yet. I still a makeup artist. So
Yeah.
I did that one movie, I did a couple commercials too for Wendy's, for Burger King, but I wouldn't consider myself an actress. Just like how it took me a while to call myself makeup
Makeup
artist.
artist.
I didn't like to call myself a personal assistant after a while, even though I started that way. So I was like, okay, I like, even within the makeup industry, I test out music videos, movies, like I've been there, done it all, but now I'm like focused on bridal and personal clients. That love, that's where like I love it. Natural yet enhanced beauty, love it. So yeah.
Wow. And what is your experience? What has your experience been like being on that what's it called, the family
The
business,
family
right?
business.
Family business on BET. What has that experience been like?
Listen, so I'm on both sides of the field and I'm loving it. I not only do makeup there, just because of COVID. COVID happened, and I was like, I flew out there, and I was in a bubble. They wouldn't allow us to like move out because COVID. So they tested us
Mm-hmm.
regularly, had us in quarantine, and then we moved on to the project to work with other like other actors like together, right? So it was a process. So in
Mm-hmm.
between that time, on days when I wasn't acting, I was like, let me do my makeup, and then they fell in love with my skill. And in between that, I'm like, on days I'm not acting, I'm doing makeup, and I was there for like 4 months, and then it's growing. Everything is just growing. I'm around a production who are, mainly Black people who are all about Black excellence, who want to see me grow. They reached out to me after seeing King of the Dancehall, and they're like, "Wait, how comes you're not bigger than this as yet?" And I was like, "Well, I got nobody asked me that question before." They're like, "Well, you should be." So they reached out to me because I was an authentic Jamaican that just popped up in their view, when they were like auditioning top American actresses for the part. They came and they like found me through email, and I was like, who are these weird people? But eventually, remember, I don't have a manager then. Never had a manager. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, who are these
Right,
people?
right.
And they kept reaching out to me, and I was like, oh my God. One year I was in New York, summertime. Listen, to man, they called me that day. I was supposed to leave the next day. And I had a meeting with the writer right before my flight to go home, come home back to Jamaica. The meeting was so perfect. We met in Long Island, and then of course I just drove to JFK to leave. That is how close the meeting was to the writer. He loved Maya, which was my character in King of the Dancehall. He loved my
Mm-hmm.
authenticity and loved how basically clueless I was about this whole movie industry. He was like, "Yeah, do you know like this actor? He's in it." I was like, "Oh, no, but cool. Maybe if I see a face."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is so refreshing. Then I went home, did a self-tape, submitted it, and immediately that was it. From season 5 onwards, my character has been growing. Season 1, season 2, season 3, just finished season 4. It's on a high on BET, plus it comes out next year on BET. So it's like on both BET plus a year ahead of BET. So it's constantly going. So people are like knowing about the diaspora. I'm reaching out to the diaspora, and this is so amazing. Just using my
I
Jamaican
know.
accent, they found me. God placed you in
I know.
positions that you're supposed to be in. Just show.
I agree. I agree. And I think that was one of the reasons that I reached out to you, because I've seen your Instagram post where you are, can you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, so I've seen your Instagram post where you were advertising your makeup classes and stuff. And I followed you at some point in time, and then I checked you out. I didn't even realize that you were an actress and all this good stuff. I really reached out to you because I wanted to talk to you about black skin and natural makeup, right? And then I saw the rest of the stuff and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so much better than I thought it was. Because here's a Jamaican girl. She's young, she's vibrant, and she's doing it. She's going out there, she's making change and creating waves, and she's doing what she's passionate about. Now, I don't want to take up all of the showtime with the movie stuff. So now I want to pull you back a little bit to the makeup stuff, right? Now, for a girl like me, as you can see, I don't like a ton of makeup, right? I like my nose the way it is, so don't make my nose straight and all of this stuff. So how does somebody, and I'm completely clueless when they come onto this makeup thing. I've watched the YouTube videos. It's just not my thing. It's your thing.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
It's not yours. It's not my thing. It's your thing. So if you were to give a girl like me some advice on how to get her makeup on, make it look fabulous, enhance her natural beauty, not be too much, what would you tell me?
I love this question because this reminds me of like my one-on-ones where I'm like able to see you and like have a real-time conversation, see what. So first of all, let me compliment your skin tone. You're even from
Thank
head
you.
like down, so perfect, right? Good job. And let's talk about that glow too. That is talking like shouting to me. Skincare is going on. I love what you're doing to your skin, to your face. Oh, and that is what we want to maintain. You, but like you, and enhance the version of what we already see. You're not trying to be somebody else. And if you try to be somebody else, you're gonna show up so awkward and uncomfortable, and you won't be able to focus on your God-given mission, don't it?
That part.
And when you're on a God-given mission, you're supposed to show up in confidence, right?
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly,
So what
exactly.
it is that you want to focus on just enhancing what you naturally have. So great job. So what I will like for women of our complexion, dark skin, right? I will say especially for you, focus on adding like oranges. Add some orange to your makeup, like orange blush. Just a little bit, go a far. Listen, that will take your radiance up a notch. Number two,
Okay then.
right? Number two, if you don't wear lashes often, right? Ensure that the top and the bottom, like the makeup is even. So if you're gonna go smoky here, you go smoky here. If you're gonna go light here, you go lighter here. Unless if you go smoky here, just add some lashes and like bolder lashes to kind of complement that. Unless it is that we have dark circles and that is just how the makeup just end up looking, right? What I will suggest is corrective makeup. Orange. Remember I said orange? The orange color corrector. Do you know the very affordable, the LA Girl HD, that orange concealer, like very popular, man. You squeeze it up and if you go
I
in the
don't know.
pharmacy,
Like I'm clueless. As I said, I'm clueless. My makeup goes powder,
simple.
foundation, a black pencil needs to be replaced, and a black brown pencil.
Well, good job. That is what I'm saying.
I
Hashtag
have kits.
skincare. Mm-hmm.
I do, and I have this one too, but I've never
Yeah. Good
actually
colors.
use them. So there is an orange in here, so I'm gonna
Right?
try that out.
Right? Orange makes dark skin pop. So what I would highly recommend for you to get to add to your kit, because as I said with my one-on-ones, I see where you are and I take you up a notch. I don't want you to go shopping for everything that you don't need. You know, you just
Right.
want to be like to the point to present as your best self, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just great. I would say under here, just add a little tip of color correction, color corrector, the orange color
Mm-hmm.
corrector, and blend it out, and it will cancel out that dark blackish blue color, right? And it will
Mm-hmm.
brighten your skin so much. Then after that, just a little bit go a far way to cancel it out. Don't overdo it because you don't want to look like a little pumpkin. No. And then on top of that, just apply like a concealer that's your undertone. So your undertone is more of a red undertone. Mine is more of a yellow undertone. I don't know if you could see, right? But I would say something with more of a red undertone, reddish yellow. It's gonna be, a little tricky, but that is makeup, trial and error. Play with it, have fun. It's just makeup. And if it
Yeah.
don't work out, learn the art of mixing. Take one that you have, take another that you have, and mix it, and it will
Mix them
work.
together.
You see, if you balance that, listen, no man, your skin will just brighten. And you don't have to go all over your face and go extreme like YouTube University. Just right. Let me point on the area right here, and then you just blend it out. Focus here, and you just blend it out. And you see, after you are doing the patting motion, that is
Mm-hmm.
because under here is fragile, and we don't want wrinkles. You want wrinkles so early. Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Nuh-uh.
mm-mm.
I don't.
So
I don't.
pat, don't pull. it's soft skin, and use your ring finger is the weakest finger. No matter how much pressure you apply, it won't be
It's not
as
too
strong
much.
as the others. Good tip, guys. Write that down.
Yeah, yeah. Great tip. Okay, great tip. As I said, I don't want to do this thing where I've seen women, right? And I've seen them with makeup, and then you see them without makeup, and you wonder, is that really the same person? And
Right.
that's not my thing. It may work for somebody else, but I want to look like me because I like
Mhm.
me. So I don't want to contour my nose and all of these things. I
You
want
don't
to
need
look
to be
like me.
gorgeous, girl.
Thank you, thank you. But I really do want to look like me. So thank you so much for those tips, and I love them. Now, for a young woman who today in our society, I think a lot of us have lost our way, right? In terms of knowing ourselves, really facing ourselves, and knowing who we are, what we're about, whether we're beautiful or not. I think everybody's beautiful. We just have to find that for ourselves within. And so for young women, I'm asking this question because I want you to tell our young women what you see when you look in the mirror, not from so much of a physical perspective, but from a all you being perspective, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I look in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and I stare in my eyes in the mirror. I don't try to look at my other body parts in the mirror. I stare in my eyes. I'm talking to me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, listen, I see that you're a girl who's trying. Keep going. And if you don't want to do it today, rest. Have peace. Find peace. And then you just know that a refreshing is coming. Just like just like we have our seasons. And if you watch the plants, they too have their scary seasons. But you see when
Mm-hmm.
them spring up like no, that it's approaching Christmas time and the place start get green and the butterflies start come out. You
Right.
know,
Everything starts blossoming.
everything just and that's their time. And my time is coming. I know I give beauty. Meaning when I say beauty, I let I see people for who they are. I see you. I see you. I look in your eyes and I see you. We're both human beings having an experience on earth, and it's hard. It's so scary. But you want to be heard, and your circumstances are just not right at the moment. You just want somebody to talk to. I want to be that listening ear. So that is why I don't consider, even right now, I don't even just consider myself a makeup artist or one thing. I'm many things, but more, I like the term beauty therapist because while that session is happening, a bride is getting ready for her big day. This is scary. Oh my God, the decisions. Oh my gosh, I just spent more money than I planned. This is my family is showing up. Oh God, I don't know. I never wear makeup before. I'm gonna trust Kimberly Patterson to do it. I don't know. I see her work, but I'm gonna trust her. I'm gonna trust her. I did my research. So people put that trust in me, right? So I just show up as who they expect. I show up as who I am. I show up as who, you know, as I say I am, and that's the best version as it can show. And when I say I am, I show up with good energy, good vibe, just like what you see now. I'm showing up like this, but we don't have our conversation and formalities. So now it's for me to like, listen, girl, relax, sit back, enjoy the magic. Let me set up a good view for you to see outside the beach, play your music. You got this, we got this. If you start crying, listen, it's okay, it's okay. This is a big moment for you. We're gonna walk through it together. Cause I do this all the time. It's her first time. So empathy, empathy. Beauty is in empathy. So the more that you can have and the more you could give, and shit, life is not about me. I have the gifts, but it's to serve others. And while I'm serving others, I'm being replenished by being served with acting, if that makes sense. So it's
Yeah,
like
it
I
does. It
have
does.
enough
It does.
and enough to give.
I think what you said about being a beauty therapist, when I learned that beauty is not so much skin, it's not so much your face and your nose and your eyebrows and your lips and your smile. It's so much more than that. And when we understand that, it starts to radiate from within, right? And then you, even somebody might have called you pretty, but you just feel there's a certain amount of joy that comes with that when it's radiating from within. And then everybody that you pass by, it's like it blows off on them. It's like it blows off on them, and everybody and everything becomes beautiful in your experience. So I think learning that beauty is so much more than what you look like, I think it's amazing. And when you come to that, when you look in the mirror, like you said, and you talk to yourself, don't look at your skin, don't look at your body, don't look at your hair, but look at you, look at your soul. There is something going on inside of you that's so much bigger than what's outside of you. And when you come face to face with that, you become absolutely phenomenal. So
Yeah. And
thank you
remember, the
again for
physical
being here.
fades. The physical fades. If you worry about the physical, if you look up, remember I said when I look in the mirror, I don't look all over my body because I'll start looking at my flaws. That I know that my insecurities, I don't want those to stand out. I look in my eyes and I hold myself together and I say, Kimmy, you're going to do a wedding today. Kimmy, you're going to do this today. Like, you got this. And even if
Yeah.
like that gives me enough energy to go out without looking in the mirror every day because I don't have to. But
Yeah.
just saying, it's just enough energy. That glow from within will just shine through. And if you have a big function, a birthday, a wedding, something, I think you should all show up as the best versions of yourself. That is why I reached out, and this thing has been so scary since COVID. But listen, I've been, just like how you see my ad, I've been like working on classes and it's been like hot bread. I now have collectively over 300 women, everyday women, learning to their makeup online in the comfort of their homes, and they could reach out to me like anytime. That is a value I see in doing your own makeup, but knowing the reasons why behind it. And I think that
Yeah.
many of us, everyday women, who just want the simple, not too over the top, like don't try to change it with the heavy, just because it's trending and popular on Instagram, that don't mean that I need to go to work in like
Exactly.
heavy cut crease,
Yeah.
big lashes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So tribe is tribe, and we pull each other and we look out for each other as much as we can.
There's magic in all of us people, every single one of us. And if you are here and you're somebody who you're not there yet, but you want to be, right? You're not there at the place, you're not at the place where you can look at yourself and see you, just know that you're in there. You are there. Just keep looking for it, and life tends to give us the things that we look for. So keep looking for that you within, and I guarantee that you will find that. So what impact does Kimberly Patterson want to make on the world?
I think the biggest impact I could see will be complete when I move on in life, meaning pass on to the after die.
How
Because
so?
and I say that to say
Mm-hmm.
I'm still young at this. I'm still learning. There's so much more to me that I don't even know that
Mm-hmm.
I have. That's my superpower. And I have more to
Right.
share. I'm aging, yes, but with each step, my birthday just passed, November the 7th. Lord, I'm 34. But listen, that's just a new journey for me, you know what I mean? And even though we're like not there yet, it's there. As you were saying, it's there. It's just to like see you, listen to your inner child, and know that even though I've heard this about me, that doesn't mean it's true. Even though I think this, that doesn't mean it's true. Don't be afraid to question your thoughts, question who you are, and dissect it and say, what is it saying to me?
Mm-hmm.
And that takes practice. Listen, this don't happen in a day. That takes
Oh
practice,
yeah. Oh
right?
yeah. Absolutely.
You
Mm-hmm.
peel the layer, we're like onions. You have to peel the layers and rub your eyes enough times because each day we're growing. So I think the biggest impact is when I move on and then I'm remembered for how I played my part in life, how many souls I have helped on my journey to success.
Beautiful. And there's a question that I wanted to ask and I forgot. So let me just backtrack just a little bit to skincare. You mentioned skincare. For the average folk, that's not a thing, right? Because when we hear about skincare, we hear of expensive products, right? And facial and foot and anshal, even though those are things are not,
I know.
right? But skincare for a regular person who is not maybe on TV or all of this stuff that in all of this excitement and all of that, what does skincare look like, or what can skincare look like for a normal person just going about life?
I know. I love that because I am a normal person too. And that is why I attract normal people. So I just because we're on live, I just put on a little brow powder, but listen, catch me off that, I
Mm-hmm.
would not like I would be off for makeup. If I go in on my makeup jobs, you don't really see me in makeup often because I want to focus on my client, my bride. I don't want to be in the mirror fixing myself, concerned about me when I'm serving somebody else. So everyday women, me and you, that is why I'm talking like that is why we're aligned from the get go, girl. I would say, like, even when I struggle with acne and acne scars sometimes, right? Like, hormonal, it happens, right? As women, we all go through this. So I just
Mm-hmm.
say, if I have to wear makeup and I'm sensitive, I just want to know how to cancel things and just make it work for me. But in the meantime, I'm gonna focus on my skincare. Skincare for me is not like, listen, yes, I do shop for expensive skincare, but I put that in my kit for my clients, right? Because I'm like, listen, I invest in my kit, I want to serve them the best possible. Then me, I will keep the samples and I'm like, yes, winning. Get the big stuff for my clients and keep the small stuff to test out and focus on that. So with that, I said focus on moisturizer twice a day. Simple. You can go to a pharmacy and just buy what works for you. And remember, it's trial and error. If you try it after a while and you're saying, okay, all right, this really not working for me. I don't like the smell. I don't like how thick it is. I don't like how they change it and see another brand with it and do your research and see what's in it that feeds my skin. If we get getting older, then we step it. Oh, and of course, your lip balm too, because you want to keep it fresh. Moisturize and
Mm-hmm.
lip balm, don't it? Easy, right? Step it up. Add the eye cream before you moisturizer. Keep on the hair hydrated and moisturized at the same time with the face, because we can't leave on hair. Moisturize your neck too, because remember we have to. This is one product working many ways, you know. And then of course the eye cream just to keep it fresh and maintain that glow throughout the day. And then if you don't want to go the eye cream, you could go with a sunscreen with moisturizer. So a moisturizer with sunscreen in it. That's like two in one. That would like give you the moisture you need in the day and protect at the same time. However, I don't really wear sunscreen to bed. So I still have a moisturizer without sunscreen. That's just simple. Then the next step would be like your serums. But that's like big league stuff. That's where like the pricey,
Yeah,
serums are
yeah,
expensive. But listen, by then you'll be invested in yourself because this is you, it's self love, right? So
it
spend
is.
on
It is.
quality skincare. Spend the money, girl. Spend the money on the quality skincare.
Okay, so my final question for you is, well, I know you could probably laugh yourself to a high day, but on an average day, how do you maintain your desired state of being? Like, how do you maintain that vibe that you have to take to your clients? That personality, keep that personality up and popping and looking fabulous. What do you do to maintain that?
Oh, listen, let me give you one example so you could learn, like, see what.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, with discipline over time, I had to decide, okay, I don't want this anymore. I want this for myself. Naturally, right now, my body wakes up at 4:30 a.m. I go out and I exercise, and then I'm ready for the day. But it wasn't always like that, and to this day, still I struggle, girl, because I love to eat.
You have
Listen,
company.
right?
Yes, you do.
Listen, the best thing ever. Like I'm thinking about some pizza right now, but it's okay. Tasty, tasty. But I wasn't always like that. You know what I mean? I had to
Mm-hmm.
like learn over time. So listen, remind me of the question one more time.
How do you maintain your desired state of being? Like, high vibe. How do you maintain the high vibe?
People wonder, like when I wake up with so much energy, people wonder if I drink coffee or tea. I said, no, I don't really drink coffee. I hate the taste, but I love the smell, but I don't need coffee. It's just like the
Mm-hmm.
internal energy that it's just over time. You had to go through hard times to know,
Yeah.
to find that light. So if you see me with so much light, you must can know how much I've been through, and I've turned it around into magic instead, into beauty,
Yeah.
gold. You know what I mean? Just stepping forward and just switching it up. Oh, it's scary at times, but listen, we do it.
Do you do anything else outside of exercise?
All right. So I was saying that's it for right now. But I think what helps me is just setting the pace by doing self-talk before I actually get out of sleep. I would sleep, lie down for 5 minutes and say, okay, like this is how I'm feeling. Sometimes I roll over and just go on Instagram and check in. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes when I want it together, I have a lot on my mind. I would wake up and I say, okay, cool. Breathe a couple of times, roll over. Sometimes I would start writing. I started a new routine of writing a journal. I hated writing because my finger, just the pen, it was just so I didn't like to write as much as type, but I started writing again and I didn't know where, like I have books and I'm like, wait, where did all of this come from? But just putting pen to paper changes your life.
It does. It
You're
does.
right. And you get to
See,
unload those feelings.
this
Yay!
is
Oh, wow.
this is what I write in. It's a 5 subject notebook.
I have a 5-star one. Yes.
Yep.
Great.
I get it. I get it completely. Oh my gosh,
So you
Kimberly, you're
should know
absolutely.
them. So you should know
Yes,
them.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I ask because I know to each his own, right? And I try to ask all my guests because what might work for me might not work for somebody else. So I want you to share so others can see what they could try something different to see. But yeah, I definitely have my routine. I do my writing and I do my exercise. I go to the gym. Like going to the gym is like the high point of my morning. And so
You
I do my
go.
journaling, I do my meditation, I do my reading. So I have stuff that I do. So I know, I understand, I'm definitely there with you, but I wanted you to share because it's all about sharing the message and giving people options as to what they can do to just wake up with the high vibe, be happy, be
Set the
joyful.
intention. Yes.
Exactly. So, Kimberly, it was an absolute pleasure to have you here today. You are so amazing. I love your energy. I love your vibe. I love the laughter. Guys, you can see that she's still in touch with her inner child.
Of
Because,
course.
yeah, definitely, I can tell that. So, thank you again for being here. It was a pleasure to have you. And if you are not following me as yet, I am here every Thursday. It can be in the morning or in the afternoon. Share about how you and sometimes me too can become a better version of what we are today, because we are here to expand and evolve and grow and become high vibe, high flying discs, beings that are happy and joyful. And we can't really do that when we don't know who we are, what we're about, and what our mission is on this planet. So if you're not following Sharika Baby or Align with Sharika is my handle, go ahead and give me a follow if you want to hear more stories like this. I'll be here again next week. And feel free to pick up a copy of my book, right? It's called An Introduction to Freedom. It's all about changing your perception and your reality so that you can smile every day like Kimberly does, right? Right. So give me a follow and I'll be here again next week. Buy a copy of the book. It's a great Christmas gift. It's on Amazon and it's here in Sangster's bookstores if you're in Jamaica. So pick up a copy, share it with a friend. They won't regret it, and neither will you. And again, Kimberly, do you have anything final that you want to say?
I think usually I would like say follow me on Instagram, but this time I'm like no. I think I want to leave with a tip. I think the best tip that I could leave for everybody here with us tonight is to find out your value, and walk in peace with it.
Yep, that's a good one. And that's a great note to end on. You've been watching Becoming Consciousness with Shari. Rest of Thursday.